Hello, I'm Joseph Giunta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony, welcoming you to the DMSO listening room. Now today, I'm delighted to speak to you about our next program we're calling Immortal Beloved, which will be performed in the Civic Center on January 29th and 30th. The first half of this program features a montage of music and spoken words focusing on a side of Beethoven's personality that has been overlooked by many. We often hear about his irascible and erratic behavior, which made headlines on many occasions. But there was a warm and loving side to his personality too, and although he never married, there's evidence that he fell in love with many women during his lifetime. In June of 1812, Beethoven was completely exhausted, both physically and mentally, from a decade of non-stop composing and performances. His hearing loss continued to take a toll on him, and his doctors suggested a summer vacation would be appropriate, specifically in the Bohemian resort town of Teplice, which is Czech for hot springs. It was a 3-day trip by stagecoach, and one evening he spent in Prague. And during that visit, he met a woman, and he immediately fell in love with her at first sight. Once he arrived in Teplice, a few days later, he wrote 3 of the most telling letters, an outpouring of lovesickness that he felt for this woman. Now, the woman's name remains a mystery, and only referred to in his letters as his Immortal Beloved. These letters, which were never sent, will be read with appropriate music in between them. We begin with Dobrinka Tabakova's Dawn, the first of 3 pieces, the others being Day and Dusk that she composed. In this case, of course, Dawn was inspired by a sunrise. Tabakova is a living Bulgarian composer who wrote timeless music with a unique richness and beauty. This piece is scored for strings only, but has extensive solos for the cello and violin. Tabakova was born in 1980 in Bulgaria and currently lives in London, where she attended the Guildhall School and the King's College. She's won many compositional prizes in Vienna, London, and New York. Other music that is interspersed throughout this half includes a performance by pianist Campbell Helton, playing the first movement of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. This very famous second movement of a Seventh Symphony will also be played, as well as a work by French composer Auguste Holmes. The work is called La Nuit et l'Amour. Holmes studied with the great composer and teacher César Franck, and her first publications had to be under a pseudonym because women were not considered serious artists during this time. This piece is charming and engaging in full romantic fashion. Now, during this first half, actor James Serpento will play Beethoven. He will read the 3 letters to his Immortal Beloved, who will be played by Katie Merriman. Finally, the long-anticipated return of Natasha Paremsky, playing Rachmaninoff's virtuoso 3rd Piano Concerto, will conclude this program. This piece was one of Rachmaninoff's signature pieces. He composed it in 1909 and performed the premiere with the New York Symphony that same year. It is one of the most difficult concertos to play and feared by many pianists. Natasha Paremsky was born in Moscow and moved to the United States when she was 8 years old. She currently resides in New York. She's played with the Minnesota Orchestra, the San Francisco Symphony, the Oregon Symphony, the Houston Symphony, the Los Angeles Philharmonic, and many others. She is also an active recitalist and chamber musician. Now, I know you will enjoy this program, and I look forward to seeing you on January 29th and 30th. And don't forget to click on the link that follows this video to hear some of my favorite recordings of the music I just spoke about. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you at the Symphony.